Hi everyone, my name is Brendan and welcome to the first lecture in my video lecture series on big data. We're going to call it, this isn't little data. So I guess the big question is, what is big data? Big data comes from the fact that every day we generate 2.5 quintillion bytes of data, so much that 90% of the data in the world today has been created in the last 2 years alone. And this is exponential, it's still growing, meaning the amount of data that we're going to create tomorrow is going to be unfathomable. So the data comes from everywhere. It comes from the sensors used to gather climate information, post to social media sites, digital pictures and videos, purchase transaction records, and cell phone GPS signals, to name just a few. And those are some big ones. And this data, along with all the other data that we collect, it creates big data because it's just big. So big data conventionally spans 4 different dimensions: volume, velocity, variety, and veracity. So these can be described like so. So volume, which is not like the volume where you turn it up or turn it down, is the enterprises and businesses are just, they have too much data to work with, and it's, as we mentioned before, it's constantly growing. There's all types of data, generating terabytes, petabytes, and even maybe zettabytes of information. You turn 12 terabytes of tweets created each day into improved product sentiment analysis. You can convert 350 billion annual meter readings to better predict power consumption. This is an example of volume. There's a lot of information. What can you do with it? Velocity is something else. So velocity is kind of what we described before, where it's the rate of change of information. How much are you acquiring? So sometimes, let's talk about this example. Sometimes 2 minutes is too late. For time-sensitive processes such as catching fraud, big data must be used as it streams into your enterprise in order to maximize its value. Meaning you can't gather information always and then 8 months later, like in the project I'm going to be doing later, turn that into something useful. Sometimes you need information that is relevant right away. So, for example, you can scrutinize 5 million trade events created each day to identify potential fraud. You can analyze 500 million daily call detail records in real time to predict customer churn faster. Sorry, I don't know what that is. So that's velocity. Velocity is the speed at which you're acquiring information. Variety is the other thing. That's pretty self-explanatory. Variety is just, there's a lot of different types of information, a lot of different types of data. So big data is any type of data. Structured and unstructured data, such as text, sensor data, audio, video, click streams, log files, and more. And there's constantly new insights found when analyzing these data types together. The intersections of these different data types could be relevant. For instance, you take a picture and that is a data type, right? That's an image. And then you take the alternative text attached to that, and then what does that mean? How can you relate that? That's just a small example. Some examples of variety in big data would be monitoring hundreds of live video feeds from surveillance cameras to target points of interest. Exploiting the 80% data growth in images, video, and documents to improve customer satisfaction. Finally, and the last dimension of big data is veracity. And veracity can be explained with this example, where 1 in 3 business leaders do not trust the information they use to make decisions. How can you act upon information if you don't trust it? Establishing trust in big data presents a huge challenge as the variety and number of sources grows. So those are the 4 dimensions of big data, and that would be essentially the conclusion to my introduction video. Hopefully in future renditions of this series you'll get a more descriptive and informative speech. And I guess to wrap it up, let's talk about Amazon real fast. Amazon is like the heralding champion when it comes to data and data mining, because their system is so heavily used that they generate an enormous amount of data all the time, and they've done a really remarkable job of utilizing that data to create a customer experience that's really beneficial to use and really easy to use, as well as being one of the most applauded, dynamically generated websites where the things that you see only exist for you. You know, it's not like an HTML page where everything is seen by everybody. Everything you see is generated specifically for you and for your experience, which comes from the data mining that happens, where everything that you click on is now a query that turns results up, and those results are done through this enormous amount of data, or these results are found. And then you get this great experience where you get to see things that would be really relevant to you, possibly. So that officially concludes my introduction video. So stay tuned in future weeks for hopefully some more exciting content. Bye.